Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 481, back on the topic of the NFL and back on the topic of your LA Chargers. Today we're going to be looking at whether or not Justin Herbert is the best quarterback in the AFC West, of course, going into the 2021 season. So that's the topic for today, but before we get into that, question of the day. A couple of videos ago we did, would you rather have Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa on your team? And today we're going to be asking you guys who would win in a fight between Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa, two very talented players and obviously brothers, so I think that would be a great match. So comment below who you think would win in a fight, and at the end of the video, Jay and I will give you our bets. But Jay, can Justin Herbert, or really is Justin Herbert the best quarterback in this division?
Really, I'd like to boil it down to just Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes, but I know there are going to be a couple Raiders fans out there that are going to make some crazy argument that, not that Derek Carr is the best, but Justin Herbert does not to be over Derek Carr just yet. And even some Broncos fan might, have some faith in Drew Lock. Overall, to me, I think the current standings got to go Mahomes, Herbert, Carr, then Lock. Lock, he's just been inconsistent. He's still young. He has a lot to prove and has a lot to show, but I don't think he will make a jump anytime soon to go over any of those three quarterbacks. He could go over Carr this season, but I think Herbert and Mahomes are out of the realm of possibility. Carr, he is consistent. He's an accurate thrower. He's a good thrower. He has QB vision. He's a smart guy, and he has a good coach in John Gruden, but he does not have the talent around him to really even pivot him there. I think Mahomes, not to take anything away from Patrick Mahomes, but he highly benefits from being on the Kansas City Chiefs, who has the best tight end in the league, the fastest receiver in the league, at one point in time, a good offensive line, a good running back relying on Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and a top 3 head coach in Andy Reid. So, not to say Mahomes doesn't have raw skill, but he does benefit that from the Chiefs and the Chargers. I love Justin Herbert, and I think he could possibly take the throne from Patrick Mahomes eventually in the long term, but just being a rookie and just heading into a sophomore year and not even knowing how he's going to work with his brand new coach, Brandon Staley, could not give him the crown yet, but I do think Herbert leaps over Derek Carr and Drew Lock. If I'm starting a franchise, I'm definitely taking him over both of those.
Yeah, I know what it's like to be a big fan of your quarterback as a team, so I understand if some of you guys think Drew Lock is this and Derek Carr is that, but they're both out of contention for me for the best quarterback in the division. Drew Lock is pretty bad all around. He does have an occasional good fourth quarter drive, but he's definitely not the best in the division. Derek Carr is definitely solid, but he continues to go 500 in the season. He's not been healthy over the last couple years consistently, so Derek Carr is really out of contention. So like Jay said, it's Herbert or Mahomes. And it's no doubt to me that Patrick Mahomes is the most talented quarterback in the division in football, maybe ever. But
God-given skill.
100% Mahomes. But we've already been shown by Tom Brady's entire career that the best, most talented guy is not the best quarterback. There's way more that goes into it. And I think Justin Herbert, he has, of course, the physical aspect. He's 3 inches taller at 6'6". He's heavier, I think, by about 15, 20 pounds. He's got a better arm. I know Mahomes can sling it, but Herbert has the frame, has the height, has all the arm strength on Mahomes. Not as quite as mobile, but he can definitely run people over. So I think it's closer than Jay gave credit for. Of course, he gave credit for Herbert being that good, but Mahomes is definitely he's the highest paid quarterback in the league for a reason. He's the most talented quarterback I think we've ever seen. But as far as the combination of everything between football IQ and time management and just making the right decision on top of the talent, I think Herbert gains some ground in the fact that he maybe has more potential just in the mental aspect of the game. And I really have a lot of proof for that. It's hard to give evidence for that, but I just think Herbert has more of a football talent rather than just pure athleticism that Mahomes has.
Yeah, and a lot of this is about perspective. If you look at it in the macro of how we are right now, just saying who's the best off the top of our head, I think it's fair to say Mahomes, Herbert, Carr, Drew Lock. But if you look at it at a smaller perspective and a straight value standpoint, yeah, Mahomes might be the best quarterback in the league, but you're paying him the most money in the league when you could get Herbert, who's probably a top 10 quarterback in the league, for a bottom 10 price. I mean, of the 32 starting quarterbacks, Justin Herbert is not making a lot compared to all those guys. Derek Carr, he's making his money, and Drew Lock's probably making a little bit less than Herbert. I think Herbert's worth the value when you look at it at a straight money standpoint. I don't know the exact salary of Herbert, but being a number 6 overall pick, I wouldn't be surprised if he's making anywhere from $10 to $25 million. I know that's a big range, but I don't know the number. But that is cheap when Mahomes is getting paid $40, $45 million, and I don't think I think Mahomes is better than Justin Herbert, but you're paying him twice as more, and I don't think Mahomes is literally 2 times better than Justin Herbert. So from that perspective, you can give Justin Herbert the crown and say he's the best quarterback in that division, but it's all depending on how you look at it. And really, based off first-year success, you saw Justin Herbert set all kinds of rookie records in the first year. Passing touchdowns, almost had passing yards. If he had a full 16-game season, he would have done that. Total touchdowns, he's won that. And Mahomes, his technically first year in the NFL, his first starting year, he set all kinds of typical not records, but was in the par of records, throwing for 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. So really, both first year of these guys' startings, they have shown a lot of success and has shown that they can break the record books. And I'm excited to see how Herbert will do in his sophomore year and to see how Mahomes will do furthermore. They're both, either way, super young. And this will probably be a good rivalry for the next 10 to 15 years, like the Tom Brady and Peyton Manning rivalry was for so long.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting a split between KC and LA this year. I'm not expecting the Chiefs to sweep, which I guess they didn't last year either because that was at the end of the year when the Chiefs kind of benched their guys.
But even when they were healthy, it was a close game.
Oh yeah, it was exactly. Back to my original point. Again, Mahomes just being just an athlete purely, in my opinion. He grew up a baseball player. He got drafted in the MLB, which just back to my point of him just being the best athlete in the league. He also has, like Jay said, the best receivers in Kelsey, Tyreek Hill. He just has the best team, and he's that most athletic. But I just think I see Justin Herbert as more of a pure football player and a pure quarterback. He's got the size, and I think he's got the IQ. He's just so young and hasn't really had a chance to display it. And now, of course, the offensive line getting a lot better. We'll be able to see the teams are hard to compare between the Chiefs last year and the Chargers because the Chargers last ranked O-line and the Chiefs wasn't top 5 in the league, but it was definitely better than that. So now we're beginning to have teams, especially with the Chargers defense getting a little better, teams that are easier to compare the two quarterbacks with because now Herbert's got Jared Cook to throw the ball to, Mike Evans, which he's had, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. So I think Herbert will have a better chance to display that he actually is a very, very talented quarterback, almost as much as Mahomes. I think Mahomes has the edge just by a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you could really make the argument that I don't even think it's an argument. I think the Chargers have definitely improved more this year than the Chiefs have. The Chiefs really, they got Joe Tooney and Kyle Long, who are two great linemen, but they also lost two great linemen in Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz. But the Chargers, they just completely added. Yeah, they released Casey Hayward and Trey Turner, but that was for a reason and for their benefit to get more money. Now they got Corey Linsley, Jared Cook. I think they're going to work more on the defense in the secondary, but even if not, you got Derwin James. You re-signed Michael Davis, who will only get better. I think he'll take a big leap this year. Chris Harris Jr. is getting up there in age, but his experience and wisdom will definitely help out the secondary when they're all healthy. And then Joey Bosa. I'm getting away from the quarterback standpoint, but your quarterback plays better when his team is better, and Herbert will benefit off that extremely. And not to completely discard Derek Carr and Drew Lock. I still think Drew Lock could take a big leap. I don't think it's going to go over Mahomes or Herbert yet, but I do think we can't, count him out. I do think he has a lot of improvement coming towards him as well. A lot of his receivers are hurt, and Derek Carr, I can't say the same. I think he'll be right around Derek Carr, probably top 15 quarterback. Yeah, 18. I mean, John Gruden, I like him, but this is not a Super Bowl team. They didn't get Derek Carr a lot of receivers, and his offensive line completely fell apart. And I'm getting away from the quarterback purely, but like I said, you need a good team around your quarterback for your quarterback to perform well. Look at Deshaun Watson. He statistically was great, but his team did not win because there was garbage around him.
Yeah, that's a good point. All in all, for me, the best player at the quarterback position, the most talented guy in the AFC West is going to be Patrick Mahomes. But I think soon, in the near future, Justin Herbert will prove to be the best pure quarterback in that division. I think the potential is 100% there.
Yeah, I agree. I think the work ethic that, you can't really see on the football field of Justin Herbert will definitely come to play in long term, the time and hours he puts in off the football field.
100%. Tell us in the comments who you think the best quarterback in that division is, because, again, I think Herbert not quite there, but has the potential to do so. But as far as our question today, Jay, Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, in a fight, who are you taking?
Growing up, when you have a little brother and big brother wins in everything. But that's why later in life, the little brother eventually can beat them because they've always had a tougher opponent. They've always had to deal with tougher things. So now that they're grown up, I would take Nick Bosa in a fight.
I'm taking the opposite. Older brother is the older brother. Always will be the same way. And Joey Bosa's got an inch on Nick Bosa at 6'5". Joey Bosa's got the edge for me. Tell us in the comments who you think wins the fight. But thanks for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.